Hi everybody, welcome to this week's video. So this week, a bunch of things happened. I sort of really got sanding. It's something I hate doing. The prep work, I love the painting, but the prep work, it kills me. And it looks like we might be getting fiber this week. So that would be super exciting for me. Having to wait 5 to 6 hours to upload a video to YouTube is just killing me. It's just so ridiculous. So that's big news. And then I've been doing a lot more kind of on social media. And I don't know if you guys know, but I have a TikTok channel that's under the name of Chateau Chronicles. So I think with these sort of 9/11 stories that I've been telling, I'm going to try and post them each week on TikTok first. So it'll probably go up on Thursday or Friday on TikTok, and then I'll just repeat them here on Sundays. But if you want to get a head start, you're more than welcome to check me out on Chateau Chronicles over on TikTok. It's a little harder on Instagram because they have to be shorter, and I'm really not a good short storyteller. Everything I do is long stories. But my niece has been helping me with doing some of the social media. So maybe she can work her magic and make the longer stories into shorter ones. I don't know. It's just a little harder on Instagram. But anyway, I had also some thoughts around Sparkle Week. So I'll leave that for my post shower comments. I was still wet from the shower when I had this epiphany. So yeah. Anyhow, it's January, February, and being alone here and with no Chloe, it has been a little weird, I have to say. I've been doing my best to, get out once a week or so, or invite people over or something. But I've been pretty reclusive, honestly. I've been kind of hermiting, but I know I'm not alone in this. So I think it's just the time of the year. And yeah, so that's what's going on. Anyhow, you'll get a glimpse of this week. So, and I make chicken soup, because that's what you do in January. All right, enjoy the video. All right, I've been sanding this afternoon, and this morning. I feel like I've gotten very far, but here I am, and yeah, I don't know, you can't really even tell, but there we go. That's been my work for today. So, yeah, just the boring stuff. It doesn't really even, it doesn't even really go on time lapse very well because it's very uninteresting. So I just sit and listen to an Audible book and carry on. Okay, that's what's going on today. I've sort of inadvertently created this still life, this chateau still life that I kind of love. When I clean out the Grand Salon, whoops, it's just kind of cool. Anyway, I don't know why that took my fancy. So my neighbors have called and said that it looks like the fiber guys are starting to work on putting the fiber. And look at that, I see fiber, I see actual fiber on a big huge spool. But Tomas asked me to walk down, see if they're still here, in order to be able to tell them how to hook up to the trench we had dug for it. So, but I'm thinking I don't know, I'm not seeing any workers, so perhaps we've missed them. But, strange. All right, well, I'll keep walking until I can see the whole road and see if they're here or not. But it looks like they've gotten the fiber all the way up to the big post there, so we're getting there. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited to not have to wait 5 hours to upload a video every week. It will be just heavenly. So I thought I would just share my little life here, my little alone life. So I make a lot of chicken, roast chicken, because I don't know what it is about this oven, this little oven. It roasts chicken like nobody's business. It's super crispy, and all I put on is olive oil, salt and pepper, and some smoked paprika, and it's delicious. All this to say, I usually have roast chicken around. So today I was in the mood for soup, so I threw the bones of some of my leftovers and then took the chicken off the rest, and then I threw it into the pot with some water. And I just cut up all the vegetables and put all the ends of the vegetables into the pot. So I'm going to boil that for, I don't know, 30 or 40 minutes. And then I will strain it all, and then I will add all these lovely ingredients. I have, one of my favorite things is celeriac. And so I'm putting that in. And yeah, this is me making chicken soup. I make it all the time, and I add lots of turmeric. And this time I'm adding, what is this, escarole or whatever that sort of broccoli-like kind of thing is. See how that goes. And then sometimes I'll throw in some pasta or beans, rice. Today I have this, I was going to try this little pasta. It's really little. It looked huge on the box, but it's only like this big. It's teeny weeny. So I might throw some of those in. Anyhow, just thought you might be interested. Okay, à bientôt. And voila, the finished product. Yum yum, lunchtime. C'est un fantôme, je pense.
Ouais, par contre, vous voyez, ça redescend pas. Hop.
I don't know.
Plus s'arrêter.
See? C'est mon fantôme. It's my ghost. I have a ghost living in the clock. Wow. Look at all the clocks. So I've come to get this guy fixed. And it just started on its own, dinging, and he can't seem to turn it off. Okay, merci beaucoup. Okay, so I'm giving in to the curtain, the curtain issue. So my plan is for this year to do curtains for the second floor bedrooms and possibly for the third floor, round windows as well. But I think I need a professional, because it is something that is just so beyond my scope of talent. So here I am, and I'm scared because this is probably going to be an expensive little endeavor. Okay, here we go. Bonjour. Okay, I realized at the end of the curtain clip that I forgot to give you the result, which was an estimate of around €1,000 per window. Yeah, so maybe I'll be sewing my own curtains after all. Or maybe I need to have a sewing retreat. Who wants to come and help me? Who wants to come to a retreat and help me sew curtains? Eat. Okay, I woke up to no heat this morning, and it was telling me that these things that collect the ash were full. It turns out they're really heavy when they're full, and the little clips that hold the lid on are broken, so I can't carry it with that. And I've just dumped them in the garden, so hopefully that's going to be okay. Maybe I need to rake that down the hill a little bit. Okay, quite the way to start a morning, but look, how beautiful. Ooh. Yep. There we go. Here's the front of the house in morning sunlight. All right, well, just when things don't go your way, you just gotta find the beauty in the situation. Voila. Hi, so I was just in the shower, and I'm sure I'm not alone in having profound thoughts in the shower, but I was kind of thinking, I guess I was connecting the videos I'm doing, telling my story, my 9/11 story, my grief story, with Sparkle Week, because I realize that a large part of my healing from grief came through my creativity. And I realized that I really should talk about that aspect of Sparkle Week, because I think Sparkle Week is a huge opportunity for people who are kind of going through a loss, whatever that loss might be. It might be a significant person in your life, it might be a pet, but it might just be a status quo, you know, it might be a change of some kind in your life. You know, there's a lot of change going on, a lot of uncertainty going on in the United States right now, well, all over the world really. And I think people are just needing to find a way to feel grounded. And I think that's what Sparkle Week, I think that's what we're trying to achieve in Sparkle Week, is a toolkit for people to tap into this sort of inner part of themselves in order to feel more grounded. And it can lead to healing from loss. It can lead to healing of all kinds. So it's less about sort of, although we're calling it creative mindfulness, it's really kind of creative healing. And I did this course early on in my grief, which was kind of based on this idea of healing through creativity. And creativity, as I've mentioned before on this channel, is really just any way of solving a problem. So I remember in this course, you know, at the end of however many, it was like several weeks, it was an in-person course. And at the end, everybody was sort of showcasing their creativity. And a lot of, you know, I did writing at the time, but I remember this one woman got up and it was just, she was just had all these different ways of tying a scarf. And it was amazing. And, you know, it really opened my eyes, because I realized everybody is creative in some way. So I think that's what this is about. I think Sparkle Week is really about healing, healing through creativity. So anyway, it was just a shower thought. So there's still lots of spots for Sparkle Week, which is coming up in May. So it's coming up quick. So if you're feeling a need to ground yourself and heal from whatever change has happened in your life, yeah, check it out. It began, obviously, on a sunny Tuesday morning, My husband got up probably around 6 o'clock in the morning, got dressed, left. I think we had a quick goodbye. I fell back asleep. Then weirdly, he came back 5 minutes later. He was a little bit angry at me because I had apparently let him leave in a really bad outfit. So he changed his pants and presented me with an option of 2 ties, one yellow, one red, which was very unusual because he always said how much he hated my taste in ties. I chose the red one, and lo and behold, he was off. And we had this moment as he was leaving where I was sort of saying, please don't leave, stay, come back, come back. And we were holding hands, and he was sort of pulling away, going, I have to go, I'm going to a trade show, I gotta be there. So we let go, and that would be the last time I saw him. I got up, got my kids ready, got them dressed, got them fed, and it was my 6-year-old daughter's second day of first grade. My son was 2 and sort of hanging on my hip. And about 2 minutes before the bus was about to arrive, we were about to leave the house, the phone rang, and it was Aaron. And he was saying, Ab, are you there? Are you there? And he obviously couldn't hear me, but I could hear him fine. So he rang off and then called me right back and just said, Ab, there's been a bomb. I'm in New York. You've got to call 911. I was flustered because I'm very conscious that now the bus is imminent, and I can't figure out why he can't call 911, why I'm calling 911, but I agree to call, and I just go, okay. And I kind of make him feel probably like he's a little bit crazy, which I thought he was. So we rang off, and as I'm walking out the door, I have the cordless phone in my hand, and I'm dialing 911. And as we're walking to the bus, I'm aware that I'm talking to New Jersey police and not New York police. I don't know what to say. I'm just sort of saying, yeah, so my husband called. He says he's at Windows of the World in the World Trade Center and that I needed to call 911. So I'm calling you guys. And they were sort of nonplussed. They just said, okay, thank you, ma'am. We'll call NYPD and we'll call you back. And so I have the cordless, I have my daughter, and I'm trying to get her to walk the 50 feet to the bus stop, but I'm worried they're going to call me back when I'm out of range with the cell phone. We sort of jog lightly over to the bus stop just as it pulls up, and she's getting on the bus, and she turns around and says, Mama, who is on the phone? I just sort of said blasé, like, it's your dad. He says there's a bomb in New York. Huh. Okay, bye. I guess I really still, like, the magnitude hadn't sunk in at all. As I get closer to the house, the phone rings, and it's New Jersey Dispatch again, and they were like, okay, ma'am, we've called NYPD. It seems a plane has hit the building. We suggest you go inside and turn on your TV. I'm like, oh, that's pretty bad. Plane hitting the building. But I'm thinking, a Cessna, little plane. So still my son on my hip. I go inside, turn on the TV. I turn it on, and it's just in time to see the second plane hit the second building. And I think I just swore quite a lot. I think I sank down to the floor, put my son on the ground, and just sat in front of the TV. And then everything on the TV went black. And I remember just thinking, oh my God, Aaron, you're in like Towering Inferno. All I could think about was that movie, Towering Inferno, which is this 70s movie about basically a huge fire that happens in a massive high rise. And people are trying to escape, and it doesn't go well for most. And I'm thinking, oh my God, this is what's happening right now. So I immediately start dialing his cell phone number. And I just keep getting voice stream. Occasionally I get his voicemail, and I'm just, like, call me, what's happening? Are you okay? Et cetera. And in there somewhere, I call his mom, who lives in Toronto. I just get her voicemail, and I just say, call me. Oh my God, call me. Like, I couldn't say on a voicemail what was going on. I'm flipping channels at this point, trying to find more footage. And a little bit comes. But I know that in my mind, having seen how that second plane hit the second building, I just think there's no way it came in at such a level in the building where I thought, honestly, the top was going to fall off. and God knows who was going to hurt on the ground when it did, but I knew that the building was going to be unstable. It was such a big event, and I knew that it was really, really that bad. So after that, I kind of lost track, I think one of the nannies at the bus stop had seen me and had put two and two together. And so she came over and took my son next door where she worked so that he could play with the kid that she babysat for. And so I was just kind of there on my own. And I'm watching TV, and all of a sudden, the first building starts to fall. And at the same time, my phone rings, and it's Aaron's mom. And I'm just yelling, going, turn on your TV, the building's falling. Like, I'm just losing my shit. And I'm saying a lot of swear words in this exchange. So then throughout the day, the guy that I'd spoken to in the morning at New Jersey Dispatch kept calling me. He called me like every hour on the hour. It turned out his name was Officer Wyatt, which I will never forget because all I could think of was, what is he? Is he a cowboy? I don't know. Officer Wyatt? I don't know. And we together were trying to figure out where Windows of the World was. Was it in the first building? Was it in the second building? Was it in the first building that fell? Was it at the top? Was it in the middle? Was it? No idea. And I couldn't get through to my husband's office. So my husband was there, as it turned out, at a trade show. He was at Windows of the World, the restaurant, which was on the 106th floor. So pretty much at the very top of building number 1, the north building that was the first to fall. No, it was the second to fall. First to fall was the one that, building 2, which got hit more in the middle. Eventually, I got through to his company, and that's how I learned all that, where he was in the building and whatnot. I know also from finally talking to his business, his company, he worked for a company that was in Midtown, and he was at a trade show for the day. He worked in financial middleware, so it was a trade show that was put on by a company called Risk Waters, and he was planning to be there all day. So we know from a phone call that his company had with one of the guys that he was there with, we knew that they had been ushered into a sort of a fireproof room that was supposed to protect them from fire. It turned out, of course, that it was not smoke proof. I'm unsure I think they had tried to open the door to get up to the roof since they were so close on the 106th floor, but they hadn't been able to do that. So we knew that. And that was about it. And then we didn't hear from anybody after that. And we know from subsequent, there's 102 Minutes. It's a book that's been put out by New York Times reporters that kind of tracks the timeline. So we know that by 9:30, which is about when the second building fell, was that there was no communication. So it was pretty much assumed that most of the people had been overcome by probably smoke inhalation, which I guess is small comfort. Obviously, there had also been a lot of people who had either jumped or fallen. They also knew that all of the windows in Windows of the World at that point had been broken. So we imagine that there was probably efforts to get more oxygen. After that, I just, sat really outside on my porch for most of the day. People would come and linger. We'd all sort of laugh and talk about the fact that Aaron could get himself out of any situation with, a roll of duct tape. He was a MacGyver. Turned out that didn't happen.